Engage. On screen. On screen.
What the hell is going on?
Engage. I want all the power you can give me.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough!
Any idea of what it is or where it came from?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
This is no longer amusing.
They seem normal enough.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Make it so. I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
Engage. On screen. Let's investigate. Enlarge and identify.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Engage.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I want all the power you can give me.
Strange.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone.
What the hell is going on? I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Stay calm, everyone.
Let's investigate. This is no longer amusing. Macro head.
Stay calm, everyone.
Slow to impulse speed.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
Engage.
Slow to impulse speed.
Strange.
Slow to impulse speed.
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough!
They seem normal enough.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I'm Captain Picard. Engage! Move to intercept. I want all the power you can give me. Make it so.
In my opinion, sir, they're gibberish.
I want all the power you can give me.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Engage!
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I want all the power you can give me.
Strange.
Hey, my name's Rachel Antral. I play Commander Non on Star Trek Discovery. Welcome to Timeline Talks.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timeline Talks. Featuring guest stars, Morph action figure collector, Kapla, It's Stars and Garter. Also featuring, that's easy for you to say, it's Big Lick Marchu. More like Command Dip Suck, look out, it's Automaton 2000. And now, bringing the bands, drinking beer that's 2 packs. Here's your host, Captain Idol.
Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Timelines Talks, the premium #1 show about all things Star Trek Timelines. I am your host, Captain Idle, and I am joined, as always, by my 2 esteemed colleagues, Otto.
Barely joined.
Yes. Hot Thompson _ 2000 with the chronic back pain and Big McLarge Huge with the chronic head pain. Guys, I think you're all falling apart tonight. And I'm like, yes, I'm ready for the energy. And you guys are like, I'm dying.
Yeah. I vote we rename the show The Old and the Restless because we're angry about traits and we're barely holding ourselves together.
Back in my day. Stars cannot be with us this week, unfortunately. He is out on assignment. Well, we'll see what he's up to when he returns. But guys, how are we this week? Which chronic? So, also, your back's out?
My back's out like a half hour before the show. It's like, nope, you're fucking old now. So I'm like, okay.
You've got that to live with for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You turn 30,
You
needed
that
kind
of reminding. You need, good grief. Yeah,
not many mirrors in his house.
Nobody ever said I used to have a bad back. Once you get it, it's.
That's it. How about Big? How is that? What is your trauma?
Carrying this show, by the way, that's how I got a bad back.
I've been carrying the big book for years. So it's I am blessed, cursed with semi-frequent and seems to be getting more frequent migraines. And about 6 hours ago, I got the Magic Light show that said that it was coming, and my saintly wife drove my prescription that I'm now taking for migraines to my job. Because we don't live that far away, and that helped a little bit, but it can only do so much. And the best thing for a migraine, as anybody that has them could tell you, is just time and darkness
and alcohol. Yeah,
I'll drink to that. But so I'm feeling more like myself now, but it was pretty rough for a couple hours there.
Oof. Touch and go. I think when you guys were just like, Big like, I got migraines. Okay, dude, take your time. You don't have to come. It's fine. Work it out. Me and Otto. And Otto's like, my back's gone. I'm like, it's going to be a one-man show. Okay.
He's been waiting for this chance for years.
Finally got rid of these guys. No.
Gotta pull that accordion back out of the rafters.
No, there'll be enough of a
What is your medication of choice this evening, gentlemen?
Well,
I know we already shared it in Discord, but...
since I felt like I took a bullet to the brain, I am having bullet bourbon. That seemed only appropriate.
Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Otto?
I am... I don't know if the mic caught it. It was pretty far away. Luxie, if you're watching, I'm drinking some Luxus Latvian care package beer.
I'm having 4 Pure, which is backwards because of the camera, but never mind. An oatmeal stout, and I can in fact confirm, and if cameras, it is 2 pant.
2 pant.
It is 2 pant. All these beers, 2 pant.
He puts his beer on just like every man, 1 pant at a time.
Okay, let's move on. Thank you to everyone who on our Discord submitted show titles. For those that don't know, you can submit a show title each week, and the winner this week was... Hang on, I forget who actually... Oh, Big's gone. Big's fallen over.
Fully professional organization.
Loki wins this week with DaiMon's are a girl's best friend, which is fantastic. So thank you everyone for submitting, and thank you for everyone for voting as well. Just so you know that if you do submit an entry, you get a spin on our wheel, which we are now going to do now. Spin now, and you can win a month's subscription to the site, which to the Twitch. This thing you're watching, you could win a month. I'm good at this. I've done this all the time.
Dude, this episode is gonna make so many best of supercuts in a couple months.
Really is. So yes, you can win a month's sub, which gets you ad-free viewing access to the channel. We're thinking a few extra things for the sub, but nothing that takes away from the viewing. So let us spin to see who will win the month's subscription. There it goes. I need some music for this. I really do. I should get something queued up. Sankatsi Siate! Hey! Well, one of our moderators on the Discord and promised it's not rigged.
That's an inside job.
Because if it would, I would have a subscription by now, and I still don't. So
they should. Shall we go to the event winners? So congratulations to Michelle of 1432 from the TP fleet for winning a 5/5 Wrathful Kirk. Congratulations to you, because that's probably a good get if you didn't have Kirk already. 5/5. And what was the top score? Also, what was the top score on that one? Because you're a skirmish aficionado.
Wait, for what? Top score for what?
It was a skirmish, wasn't it? Was it?
What, like all time?
No, I don't know. Hang on.
What?
What are you talking?
What am I talking about? It was a skirmish, wasn't it?
Why are you getting so many golds?
This is going to be the worst show of all time.
It wasn't a skirmish, it was a hybrid. Anyway, I thought it was a skirmish.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
This week's... No, you say every week you say this, I'm getting confused about which week it is. Now it's my turn, so there we go. So yes, congratulations to Michelle1432 for your 5-5 Wrath of Kirk. Coming in other places, Gazoo, one of our regular viewers, at number 2. Gazoo at number 2. We had... So, do you guys remember a while back, we looked on the leaderboard and we had a guy called Brody at like 2 places, like 4 and 5 or 16 and 17. It was ridiculous. Now he has 3 of... Or they have 3 of them at 3, 4 and number 7. But at one point they were like 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4, 5. Like, in the words of William Shatner... No, I won't say
it. do we suspect it's one person or 3?
It must be. Like, they're both in the D. They're all in the DD. Yeah.
I think it's the same person.
One person with many children. Anubis, new 12-hour Voyager, who's made our 12-hour Voyage leaderboards number 5. Vija 8. Cranky at 10. Flash 15. Sunkatse 7 and number 22. Faithful One Kienig, thank you for the Rachel video at the start of the show. Number 33, James T. Kirk, and number 36, and one of my favourite names, an Asus TF300T, and number 14, named purely after the monitor they were using at the time. So congratulations to all those guys for getting in the top 50. Let's take a sidetrack. Let's talk about one of the big deals that happened in the last week or so, which was the Stamets Behold. So, happy birthday to Anthony Rapp. I believe it was a milestone birthday. I think he was 50. I believe he's older than he looks, which is, a testament to him, whichever demon he is praying to. But... Yes. So yes, there was a Behold, which came up, which I'll bring up on screen now. There we go, which features...
If I were on the job, I would be polling this. So you vamp while I poll. You
poll, I'll vamp. So you had 3 crew you could pick from for the low price of 1,500 dilithium. Mirror Stamets, Navigator Stamets, or the newly not in Portal Tactical Stamets. Now this is quite an interesting one because I think every one of these crew has some sort of merit, probably not Navigator, but Mirror Stamets form a tier 1 big book. Now probably tier 8.
Something like that. All right, by the way, polls up in chat. So, guys, let us know if you bothered pulling this particular slot machine lever.
Definitely. Guys, did you pull on this particular slot machine lever?
I did not, no.
No.
I mean, the interesting card here from the today standpoint is definitely Tactical Stamets. Still right on the edge of later losersdom as far as voyage power goes, and I can definitely see the argument, and I know a lot of people that we know did go for him on that basis because he wasn't in the portal and he's still a very, very strong card. But just for my purposes, I didn't want to spend the dilithium right now.
Now, I know exactly who the 6% reporting 1 vote for Nav Stamets is, and they shared that in Discord with us. Looks like everyone else was either Tactical Stamets or Nada. I was in the Nada group as well, which my reasoning was he's a great card, sure, but if I'm not going to side him up within the next couple months, am I really paying for another 1-5 to hog a slot? So I thought, he's not top of my list. I think I'll pass this time, but I love the Birthday Beholds. I love that it focuses a little bit on the character, the real-life character, not just the crew. So you get a little bit of that for the sentimental players. So glad they brought it back. Hope they do it some more.
Glad it's not a mixed Behold like the Saru one we had. I say recently, probably about a year ago, where there was Kaminar Saru was in with Vaharai and Away Team Saru, which is so it's nice to have them all golds, so that the value is there. You're not picking between 2 bad choices, just picking between 1. I went Tactical Stamets. I picked him up because I think he's still like number 16 top Voyager boosted stats, so like that's still decent. I think he'll be relevant for a while. He's up there in terms of power, and even though the skill set's fairly common, I think I'll get used to out of him. Not sure I'm going to cite him just yet.
So if you remember a while back, maybe it was even the last time he was on, Ben was talking about mixed rarity beholds. I think they put out a communique about that as well. And I don't think we've seen any since then, have we? Because like you said, the birthday behold is kind of the only time we've seen that before. So I assume they have some kind of plans for it, but we are maybe not so eagerly awaiting some purples mixed in with our golds. I don't know how that's going to work. He said it wasn't going to infringe on the normal drops, that it would be some kind of special offer thing. So we'll see when that comes around.
Well, and I think that they specified that the odds for, well, I mean, it's a behold, so I mean, obviously odds don't really come into play. Never mind. I'm going to just drop that mid-sentence and we'll move on.
The odds are always
Mix and impose.
This is a good show. I'm feeling the energy here. Let's all fuck up every conversation. Let's move on. Let's talk about some crew. We talked about this one briefly last week, but we had now available, or will be available in packs tomorrow, is, if I actually, there we go, DaiMon, I keep saying that wrong because I'm thinking diamonds in my head. DaiMon Solok, one of the first few Ferengi 5-stars we've had in a while. Command Dip Engineering, pretty bad voyage rank, but bundled in a pack with... hang on, I've got to look now. I've completely forgotten. Oh, yes, that's right. Chuft-Captain and Vash.
While you're doing that for our podcast listeners, did you buy the birthday behold? 55% took tactical stamets, 40% passed.
That always
and
throws me.
No-name namer took navigator stamets. So.
Oh, you called him out.
We love you, dude.
Uncool.
No, he's a wise feller, so he already had tactical stamets all sniffed out months ago, so he took whoever was left.
He is hard at work. Very hard at work. Very busy man right now for something very important. So yes.
Replacing our show.
Yes,
That's top of the list.
It's the better Timelines talks coming now. This is why he's never wanted to be on the show. He's secretly working on something new. He didn't want to infringe.
He's going to be on the show flanked by Jonathan Frakes and Patrick Stewart doing a Timelines Talks 2.0. Yeah.
That's what he does with the money. Gets the real star power.
Yeah.
The interesting thing to note about Mr. Solok, not Vulcan Solok, I don't know if we haven't actually ascertained whether he will count for... Does Solok count for this event?
They changed it. So,
they did, okay.
He has a DaiMon _Solok or something for his hidden trait, so he's not going to trigger with the other Vulcans.
So refreeze...
No, so what they did was they replaced all the second O in Solok for the Vulcan Solok with a 0. That way it doesn't show up anymore.
Now he's a bit more leaked as well.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, Grandpa, let's not try to sound hip on our show while we're complaining about our aches and pains.
So the interesting thing to note about Solok here is that he is now part of the new collection, which actually we forgot to put in our notes. The new Criminal Mind collection, which features about 10 crew. Fairly... not hardest, well, I don't know, I'm kind of removed from the equation being so full of crew, but it's quite a small collection.
You're full of something, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, so I'm half wondering if he was planned for people to say, look, he's now in the Criminal Mind collection. You can't, luckily they released the collection at the same time as the event, so people can actually go for it instead of saying, the event's over, now you'll have to pull packs for him if you needed that last one in the Criminal collection. So that was a nice little change to something that they've done previously.
Yes, so right now we have 18 criminals in game. Looks like, I'm counting 9 purple, 9 gold. So I guess you'll need 1 gold to finish it, but we're really at the collection demilitarized zone right now where it's not that hard to finish 10, but when we finally tick over to 25, if they expand it shortly thereafter, you're going to need a lot of kind of iffy crew maybe, so... We'll see where that goes. Right now, it's not terribly difficult to complete, and it shouldn't shake up the voyage base ranks too much with just a few stat boosts in there.
Gives Braxton even more power. he's just right at the top.
Well, he really needed it, so
yeah, he did. He's a bit of the underdog in terms of voyages, isn't he?
Yeah.
Guys, talk to me about the actual skill set. I mean, we're talking about Command Dip and Voyage Rank 276. Is there any diamonds in this rough of a Ferengi? But is there profit in this trade for your time? Yes.
You're so close to great.
I know.
I would say mostly no, unless I'm not seeing something that is jumping out at me. Because I mean, the voyage score is pretty meh, and I mean the bases that go with them aren't even all that great either. So I mean, maybe if there's a criminal event or a criminal mega, you would certainly use him for that. And I mean, there are some other traits that haven't hit yet that might. I'm continuing our professionalism trend. I'm trying to pull them up right now, and I don't see what they are. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going for him myself. I can say that. And I know we had a chat offline about, because it's a skirmish event, and skirmish events, you'll tend to go for them just because of the loot boxes, kind of irrespective of the gold. So I think a lot of people are going to end up with Soloks just from participating in the skirmish. But I think this time I'm not going to be one of them. So I don't know about you guys.
Not for me.
So, to quote the illustrious Stars and Garters, card sucks. He's terrible. We are in a post-mega, perhaps, a little bit of a come-down period. This mega didn't feel as competitive as some in the past, but the scores are almost always higher in the mega, so this is going to be an event or two later. He's a bad card, so maybe this is an opportunity for some players to push for maybe some rank achievements, something like that. Now, like you said, he does have the traits. That's sort of, it's no coincidence that we're in the middle of, Toyota Trade-a-thon. What is will we get banned if I bring in other sponsors? But basically,
it's Ford Trait Month.
He's trait tough. So basically, what I was going for him is the traits. He has a couple of collections now. We'll probably get a few more in the future, just the way that things are going. So if you want him for that, it's kind of a dice roll. I think we've all been banging the drum for Ferengi Mega at some point, and I think we'll probably get it. But it's been 4 years since the last Ferengi event, which comprised 2/3 of his events to date. So not a good card, but I mean, when God closes a door, he opens a window. So if you really want to rank high, maybe this is your chance.
What if I told you you could have a Ferengi event without having Ferengi in it and have other crew as well? What about merchants? Because aren't all Ferengi's merchants, and that is a trait bonus for next week's event.
Well, legally not the women, so only about 49% of Ferengis are merchants. But yeah, that's I love these little niche trait bonuses because you get to use crew. Like I was talking with Namer earlier today, and he was flipping his lid about Zyri. He gets to use the Dosai, the female Dosai. He's like, "This is her best event ever." I'm like, "Dude, it's her only event ever." But
that was the one he won, wasn't it?
Did he?
I think so. Or he got in the high
ranks. Yeah, maybe that was.
Yeah, possibly.
Anyways,
oh man, it's just hit me now. Do I have to level my Inglatu now? Is that?
You don't have to do anything big. You have a choice.
No, it's true.
Do you want to rank Felinalis, or are you just happy just leaving him there?
Well, we'll get to him in a minute, but yeah, anything that makes me have to level.
Oh, hang on! Breaking news! This just in. We're having
Mitchell. Watch.
We're having an alert now. We've had a fresh batch of Mitchell screenshots. If you remember a while back, let me just fade this off gently. Yeah, that was gentle enough.
Yes. While you're bugging around with that, we do have a poll up in chat for the best Dosai, which we will circle around to later.
So let's say, if you remember a while back, we had Mitchell and we made good fun of it by saying, let's do Mitchell Watch. Let's see about all the big wins that Mitchell will get. And this comes from some screenshots. So thank you for everyone on our Discord that provided screenshots of their famous Mitchell battles. So we'll go in for the first one here, which is Mitchell, Lieutenant Commander Mitchell, WRG's touted gauntlet-specific crew, losing against alternate future T'Pol. Quite drastically there. Quite badly there, considering he has 2 skills with a high of 233 and she only crits once and knocks him out of the park. Let's move it on.
He rolled a 35 on his primary.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's a lot of.
From what I understand, he's good in Gauntlet.
I was going to go there, but I thought, let's hold off.
He has been.
Nope.
As you can tell, he is providing good competition. EV-Suit 7 of 9, who has been now knocked down the gauntlet ranks by, Red Angel and a lot of people. Not many people use her anymore. But no, she's still useful. If you need to beat Mitchell and you see him and you're slightly afraid and you just need to take him out, use your 7. If you see him, no worries. He's gone. He's gone. But wait a minute.
Sorry, so use 7 in blue, you said? the 2 skill?
But wait, there's more. Mirror Region Wharf. Ever taken him to Gauntlet? Might get that Klingon bonus. Here he is.
Stars isn't even here. I know Stars has taken him.
Yeah, there you go. But he's easily bested the crew that was built specifically for Gauntlet. Gary Mitchell.
We
One
need
more
a zoom in function,
Yeah, one more. one more. We'll stop. Oh, he wins. Absolute best. Okay, we go. So we ought to celebrate the victories he can do, against Spock and Aichaya. I don't know. So this crew known for his gauntlet. No, sorry. No, here's the problem. Spock wasn't built as a gauntlet crew. Gary was. So we have to be careful of that. You can't do false reporting here. So in fact, we should invalidate this one. This wasn't a real win because Spock wasn't built for gauntlet. All right, let's leave that there. We'll come back. We'll have some more Mitchell watch as the alerts come in.
Watch. You got to do the echo, dude. We're contractually obligated.
Where's my number one arena winning Mitchell pick? Oh, did you send one?
Never happened.
Yeah, no, whatever. Shall we talk about the newly unveiled? Everyone's had the Force update to the 8.2 Force update, which changes quite a lot of the UI.
Not everyone. It is live on Steam and Facebook.
Is it not? Okay. I thought Facebook had it. Anyway, regardless.
On my Android, I still don't have it, and it's not on Windows 10, so...
I'm used to playing on iOS, which usually gets updated last, so we've actually got it before everyone else, which is really strange. Yes, the 8.2
I do have it on Android, by the way.
Okay, cool. So
I do have it on
most
Android.
People with functional machines have it.
By the way, for the podcast listeners, best docile is Zyre with 44%.
Wow. Who are the other options? Hang on.
A dead one and Inglot.
Who are the other two options?
Yeah.
Okay.
The second best docile is a dead one.
Right. Oh, okay.
That's a little morbid. Whoever created that poll, let's keep things light and frothy, all right?
Gosh, weird. Apparently it's not updated by the Galaxy Play Store yet either. Yes, the 8.2 update is here. We showcased a bit of it off last week. Guys, and chat as well, please tell me what your impressions of it, because I am hearing seldom anything good.
Okay, I will lead with the one thing that I enjoy from this new update, and it's something that I never thought I would have wanted, and that is the 4x speed up option on Gauntlet rounds.
Huzzah!
That I like. Yeah, I didn't know I wanted them to go faster, but I did want them to go faster, and it's much more tolerable that way. I mean, especially if you're just kind of doing Gauntlet because you don't have any particular affinity or affection for it. It makes it a much easier pill to swallow. So I like that. Just about everything else seems like a step backwards to me.
All right, polls up in chat, folks. Let us know what you think.
So let's take it a step back, because a while back when they sort of started unveiling the crew retrieval updates, they did a big change of the UI, and they said we've now got Manifest, which contains your crew, your ships, and everything in there, which was, again, a lot of people would be like, 2 clicks to get to crew, but we kind of got over that, and that's become part of my routine now. I kind of barely blink, so it's an extra tab, but hey, it's kind of what I can live with it. This one is very strange because we've now got 2 pull-ups on the left-hand side, one for your crew, your manifest, and one for your dailies. But it's arranged so strangely. Yeah, it's arranged so strangely. And the one thing that really bugs me is I've heard a lot of people that agree with this, is that the cadet missions did not need to be pulled off the main screen, and it's now up there. And what bugs me even more is, even if you haven't completed it and you've done all your dailies, it still says 1. So every time I'm looking at it going, I've got a daily or a campaign I can claim. So I click on it, I go, oh no, wait, it's my cadet. And that gets me every fucking time I open the game and I go, oh shit, something I forgot to claim. Oh no, it's my cadet missions, because I'm saving them to ad warp them. That winds me up something fierce. And I had it today where I completed all of them. I could, there was nothing in there, and it still had the little one icon showing up. There's nothing there!
Yes, because we've all been conditioned to be little Pavlov dogs when it comes to this game. So it's like you see things. But anyway, who was clamoring for cadets to be off the screen? What's the driver there? Why? Are we cleaning out room for new buttons to show up later on?
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
I don't understand the rationale. I don't understand the rationale for a lot of these things because, they said that one of the main things was going to be it's going to get rid of pop-ups. It didn't get rid of pop-ups. It just put them in a different place.
Yeah,
but they still pop up when
place.
you.
Because now when you go to the store
more
tab, sorry, go on.
No. Go ahead.
When you click the store tab, it loads the store above the deals. So if you've got no deals there, let's say you're a madman and you've just gone, buy them all, fuck it, it'll pop up as normal. But if you do it then, it just sort of pops up above it, and it's a really weird mashup. It's a really strange thing. Going back to sort of compliment something on it, I do like where the Voyages is. I do like it's there on the main screen. I don't like where the ship icon is because the ship is always slightly misaligned. It's like either off the side or it's like you've got like sort of like the Negvar just poking his head and going, "Hello, I'm here."
Yeah.
I'm currently returning from a failed 10-hour voyage.
Well, and sometimes it kind of like mother hoards itself, where it's like almost all the way at the very bottom, where you just like don't even see it at all. I don't understand how it can be moving like that.
But my habit is still to click the galaxy map to go to the voyage. Like that's fine. I'll get around that. But the whole lots of submenus on submenus with things going, like, it just seems like there's I get very lost doing my dailies now, and that might be something that I will change as I get into the habit of it. But I like, everyone's memorized their dailies now. It's like, right, we'll do 10 of those missions, do my shuttles, do my arena matches, and then you try and go and claim them all from the campaign and the daily missions, and it starts to get a bit of a cluster something.
Well, and all of this is kind of predicated on if they've done all of this to add something of value later on, I can conditionally kind of excuse it. But if they've done it just to do it and nothing changes, then this was just a huge waste of time for no real benefit.
Hired by Picard, Solok smuggled Picard and his team through Cardassian-controlled territory. I'm so sorry I forgot that. I love the flavor text. Keep them coming.
Like you say, Big, they are probably going to be adding more stuff to those menus. There's going to be more stuff going into the manifest. There's probably going to be more stuff like, I don't know where objective events are going to sit in this, because this is going to, like I said in the announcement, it's going to be like a midweek thing. Is that going to appear on the event hub, or is that going to be a pop-up on one of the menus? Is there going to be another feature coming at some point? It feels like a UI for the future of the game, but what I think they probably should have done is looked at it and gone,
the UI of the future.
Yeah. What they should have done was looked at it and kind of gone, maybe we ought to just redesign this whole damn thing, and like gone from scratch, and rather than kind of bolt on what is already there, maybe just sort of like taken everything off and kind of got, you're right. For the podcast listeners, Big is making the money motion with his fingers.
Speaking of podcast listeners, how's the 8.2 update? 5% say great, 32% say it's an improvement, 45% say it's a step back, 18% say number one, that's retract the update, not revert the update. Let me read a few comments from chat. It's bad and WRG should feel bad. It's messy. Collections tab is good. I wish I had more hands so that I could give that update 4 thumbs down. I think I'm the only person that's fine with it. Apart from cadets being moved, but not arena. The new UI is fine, whatever. Your face is fine. Thank you, Nifty Mittens. I would say it's a missed opportunity. There's no reason to use the Galaxy Map tab. Lots of extra clicks for data. Very annoying. Some of the QOL features are great. It's not exactly streamlined UI, though. First time chat from Astro Eve W. It's Astro Steve W. Tap targets are too small. Damn says pull-ups are important. Well, dude, you're jacked. We can't match that. Voyages on the main screen should be good, but it doesn't actually help track progress. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. Like, it supposedly saves a click, but I like seeing the little bar to know how much antimatter I have left, so I have to tap on it anyway. I feel lost. I keep clicking the wrong spots. I'm sure that will improve with time. Yeah, it's not great. Move the Galaxy tab and return the dailies, etc., etc. If you're a podcast listener, what are you doing with your life? Go hop on YouTube, watch the chat live, and then you'll know what everyone else said. So.
Yes, this show just becomes us reading chat for 2 hours now. I think in terms of where they go forward with the UI, what would you, aside from the niggles about the cadets and aside from the where they've placed things currently, what would you like to see from what they like to do with the interface? I've noticed a lot of people say the galaxy map is redundant now. Like, a lot of people complete the galaxy missions and they just go there to sort of farm missions, but there is still, subset of the players that are newer that will be their kind of main focus of the game for the first few months. But what would you think, and you chat as well, like, let me know, what would you think you'd like to see in the UI and in the sort of interface for the game? I personally would like to see crew back on the main hub as a button I can press, but that's just me.
Well, I don't mind if they've kind of decoupled everything from the galaxy map, if that meant that they're going to make the galaxy map relevant to all the players again in some new way, like actually do things with that again. But beyond that, I mean, I definitely would like to see the antimatter bar on the voyages, because that is annoying. It's like, the time is great. The fact that you can see, if you're failing on the main screen as soon as you load the game, that's great. I mean, you could kind of see that before as it was, but now it's much clearer. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of play the game. I go where the things where I need to go to do the things, and if I have to dig a little bit, then that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any ideas. That's why they don't pay me to give them ideas on this.
You are pure neutral.
Yeah. No, I'm chaotic evil. We've discovered that now.
So my 2 cents before we move on. Just personal opinion, the way I play, the collections tab addition to beholds was nice. Every other change is either no change or a strict downgrade for me, especially all the extra buttons and the navigation and stuff. So I'm not a fan, but they ain't going to revert it. So all we can do is give feedback, and they may make some changes in the future.
That is one thing. Since we're kind of decoupling things, why is the collections tab still coupled to the cryostasis vault?
Yeah, that's true.
Why does that necessarily... Why can't you just go to collections directly?
They're saying we should have a pop-up for our pop-up. This is a crew.
Yes, going to be a big blinking button in the middle of the screen.
This is all you care about now.
I mean, given the importance, just like when it says play at the bottom to get into the game, it should just say go to collection tab. Yeah. Then you click through that to go to the rest of the game.
This is what you care about. Oh, yeah. Man. I have been, for anyone that's followed some of the spreadsheets I've done, I've been on a big collection sort of trip lately, trying to sort of merge up everyone's sheets to say, like, this is who you need for this is who you need for that, and these people fill multiple collections, so like they need something like that in the game. And I've always said they need sort of like the voyage pairs as well. So I would like more in-depth reporting on stats and things like that, which a few other games do, but that's just...
Did you say in-depth reporting? Mitchell, watch.
Hang on. No, we'll do that again. I'm not having the report, and Arnie Pie in the sky is not coming through to me yet.
You can't force it. It's got to be all natural.
It has. Oh, wait a minute. No. Let's talk about... Speaking of stats and traits, let's talk about the newest, hottest...
Lara.
In some respects.
Lovely Lara.
Crew that's entered the Tuesday pack this week, and that is, of course, as also wonderfully sung to us, Lara from the TAS episode, the animated series, episode The Jihad. Lara has joined Sec Command Dip. Seems quite unimpressive until you start to dig into her proficiencies. Auto, please give us the deets on what we should expect to field her in one of her many 25%ers.
Chosen for her mission to discover the stolen soul of the score, Lara was a hunter who was well known for her flawless directional sense. Now, I don't know if that last bit is sarcastic or not, because I haven't seen the episode, but I do want to go back and watch it just for this. First of all, this has got to be the ugliest art in the game by a country mile. This looks like one of those stickers from, one of those mobile dress-up games, like or the kind that they try to lure 7-year-old kids into play. This is like, it doesn't match any art in the game. It doesn't even match other animated series art in the game.
I mean, if I'll ping it back to Chuft-Captain, which is a great art. I love this art of Chuft-Captain. Like, that's really nice, sort of like taking the TAS style and sort of bringing it into this sort of timeline synthetic with a bit more art. That's great. I love that. But yeah, Lara kind of just looks like someone reports this like she's like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, if you compare these 1-to-1 with Mres or however you pronounce it, I don't know how to pronounce it, and then her, it's just night and day. It's like they have integrated TAS stuff. I mean, April is not great.
No.
Robert April's not great. Thalen is kind of somewhere in the middle. It's not bad, but it definitely still has that cartoony look to it. But they've done some of these. I mean, Rescue Team of Horror, obviously they have plenty of live action references of Nichelle Nichols that they can make something more realistic. But I keep looking at MRS, and they did that fantastically. I think that's as good as you can do with having no live action reference to make an animated card into this kind of style. This is just the polar opposite of that. Yeah, I mean, she looks like an extra from the Flintstones, and I don't know what to do with this.
Big, please tell me you submitted a show title. Please tell me what that was.
Oh, Yabba Dabba, don't pull six packs, or maybe do.
Hey. Love that.
Well, because but well, you know, if you're not first, you're last. And it stinks in a lot of ways that she is going to be a card that's going to have some ongoing interest because of the gauntlet skills that she has, because that is just a butt ugly looking card that you're going to have to see over and over and over again in the gauntlet.
All right,
because,
so
I mean,
I got to bring it up a little bit. This is a fun card. Like, art aside, they finally made a good. So I went back and checked, because you didn't think I was listening to you, did you, Big? I went back and checked the top 25 proficiency crew over the last 2 years. You have Purple Bagman Odo there at rank 21, Evie Supercard right at the edge in 25, and then in the top 10 is Lara. So for non-exclusive Gauntlet crew, she's like the only elite one added in the last several years, which is kind of mind-boggling. And if I go back, where the heck are my show notes? We've had actually a run of good Gauntlet crew lately. Baylock, of course, is an exclusive, but Evie Supercard in an event, Dexa in an event, Taco Mayweather, he's a 6-pack, but he's usable. Even Regency Riker, 2-skiller you can use. Cosmo Trade, 2-skiller. Early players can use. Bagman Odo, pretty good. Mega Crew and Lothario Q has reasonable proficiency. So we've been whinging a little bit, like, you know, they don't print Gauntlet crew but twice a year. So they picked it up. I appreciate that, and she's very usable. Like you said, Big, she tops out at 25% crit, but her proficiencies are such that you don't need really higher to make an impact. Her command sec roll is exactly the same as Kayless's. Her dip sec roll is between like Baylock and Gowron, so big power hitters. She's going to do really well for you if you're in the habit of pulling awful 6-packs for the 1% chance of getting a Gauntlet crew. So it's nice that they gave her something, because she's the worst Voyager they've ever added to the game. The art is questionable. I'm sure some people like it. The bases are terrible. So it's Gauntlet and it's events, which, I mean, it's collections, which every crew by now has some kind of collection value.
But would you say this crew was built for Gauntlet? Yes, it was. Yes.
Actually built for Gauntlet.
Yes.
And actually, it's funny because if you look at some of her items, they have like 1 base power and then like 45 to 85 proficiency. So they really did try their best to make sure she's complete crap in other areas, but she's very good in Gauntlets. So
which is fine. I think that's the kind of polar balance you can have, really. You can't have like a Gary 7 who is best at both, right? He is Gauntlet and he is Voyage. Like if you've got someone say, yeah, they're a crap Voyager, but yeah, grab them because you only need that 1 star and they'll do in these specific Gauntlets and pretty well. Yeah, I think Lara's the sort of good poster child for that. And I like that move. I like that they're actually defining not all cards are made for Voyagers in this crew. You know, this crew is made for Gauntlet. Killy is made for skirmishes for Arena. You know, it's working out the balance on that.
So I have had, for the 3rd time in a year, unfortunately, water in my walls. There's a busted pipe underneath the bathtub. First time they thought they replaced it, they didn't. So 3rd time, water. So anyway, as they replace the entire bathtub and the faucet, I get this brand new, wonderful faucet. And the old one, if you tried to turn it, it would either be scaldingly hot or it would be freezing cold. I'm sure a lot of people have showers like that. This new one is silky smooth design, completely clean. You can adjust the lever however you want and get the exact right temperature. Now,
I'm jealous.
Sometimes WRG has a problem with this is either Red Angel dominatingly powerful everywhere or it's Dreamwalker Chakotay absolute crap. And you can turn that dial, believe it or not, to make niche crew powerful in good areas. You can make them just as powerful as you want. So it's nice to see. I mean, EV Supercard was kind of there where he had a lot of good different attributes to his profile, but none of them are overpoweringly strong. Lara, you have someone who's very interesting that she excels in one area but is bad in the other. So it's like they don't need to, like you say, we're not asking for Gary Sevens every week, but someone you can use, even if they're duds in other areas, very welcome.
Well, or even, crew like Bones McCoy or Captain Tribble, where, it's a one-skilled crew, but they've done that in a way that still makes them useful in specific areas. And I don't think any of us would argue that those are bad additions to the game. I think we would want more things like that, just more, precision screwdrivers, as we like to say. Cards that are only good at one thing, but they're really, really good at that one thing.
You've got that one cabinet in the back of your house that uses a torque screw, and you've got that one kit somewhere in the back of your shed that can actually take it apart without having to use weird sort of extensions or anything, yeah.
Yeah, and Gornophobe in chat points out Zimmer is fantastic. We've actually had a pretty good run of crew. We had like 6 months where everyone was a dud except Scapegoat O'Brien, but they've kind of returned to your regularly scheduled broadcast now, and this Mega was pretty good overall. Lara is fun. I mean, Solok is a dud, but as long as they're mixed in and not the norm, I think that's a good way to deal.
I mean, does somebody need to say it? Nuts for the winter.
Yeah, maybe they'll go back to never printing another Gauntlet crew again. Who knows?
We're coming to the bleak winter. Let's do something fun, shall we? Something we've not done.
Can we do a Beholdometer?
Exactly what I was going to say. We haven't got stars for his tricorder side. He's on there. He's on there. He's reading the same show notes I am. Let's load up the Beholdometer, and we'll do this. So I need one of you guys to do your best tricorder impression.
Are you beating your dog? What's going on over there?
Was that Geo?
No, that was Met.
Oh, it was Met. Okay. All right, let's stop. Okay. Oh, controversial pick here. We have 1 star. Are you listening, Auto? 1 star on Carlos.
Trying not to, but it's getting through.
1 star on Carlos Data, 0 stars on Krelmo set, or 0 stars on Plutonium not costumed Chekhov. This is an interesting one.
I'm trying to think of a situation where I could recommend Krelmo set. I don't think I can.
He has Gauntlet. He has a unique Gauntlet.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were a new player, maybe. But even then, you want to have a monster like Carlos.
But most sets' collection value is pretty strong.
It is.
I mean, there's bad Cardassians. He's an exobiologist, physician. You can't have. You need all the physicians. So I mean, and like you said, there's some niche Gauntlet there. I have not taken Krelmo set to a Gauntlet in a long time.
No, not for a while.
I do have to say. But I mean, my snap answer would be Carlos Data. I think he kind of ticks all the boxes. Strong Voyager, at least a rotational event piece, and strong. Has good collections. That's kind of all you're really looking for in most crew. So I would go Data there.
So looking at the stars here, I mean, you've got Data. Data's in your roster. The reason I kind of look at Krelmo set, and people know me, but he is physician. He is he is exobiologist. He is
physician,
Cardassian. Is he resourceful as well? I can't remember now. I think he's only got
brutal
the 3.
And one other. He's got 5.
Yeah. So yeah,
hologram.
Hologram, yes, that's the one.
Hologram.
So there is a lot of collection potential there, and I think it's good to have him, to cite him. You might take the old Gauntlet for fun. I think Data you can cite, and if you're not citing Data already, you should, because he is a monster card. I think Chekhov's the odd one out here, definitely. Although he has the power. He has Psysec power though, which might be something someone might be lacking.
I've heard a few people say he's banned from their roster because of the art. So there's at least a few people out there.
It's amazing what a little bit of nipple will do, isn't
Look,
it?
Well, I mean, if you
ankle check
want Davy Jones from the Monkees in a toga, then he's your guy.
So I do have to say I love Chronoset's episode because not everything ends happily ever after. Not everyone's a good guy. Sometimes all the choices suck, and that's his episode in a nutshell, which is why I appreciate that. So, anyways, I mean,
but is he a South American? Is he from South America?
No, that's Carlos.
Yes, spin it again. Okay, let's go again. Give me your best tricorder sound, please. It's like my cat's worried about something. Right. Okay. 0 stars on Cal-Iffy Kirk. 0 stars on Desert Jojo. 0 stars on Dr. Culber.
So this is probably a good chance to inform you guys, our devoted timeline stalks.
I thought you were going to say it's time I'm going to tell you I am leaving the show now.
God, you wish, don't you? You've got red circles on the calendar just waiting for your chance.
No, he can't wait for there to be more dead air on the show. That's
what it always needs, just pauses. Awkward.
Whatever else you can say about Idol, the man can fill dead air like no one's business. So he's the best in the business of that.
It's mostly just me going, Anyway, sorry. Carry on with the whole.
No, I'm used to this now. I just talk louder than everyone and get my point across. This is our chance to tell our devoted viewers, listeners, we've been working hard at work on the Big Book 2.0, and I know I keep plugging that, and I'm probably building that up to epic proportions. But so that's where our time is going. So the regular bits we used to do, Captain Idol and his mother-in-law's nighty talking to Gulma Dread, like those things will come back. But right now we're focusing on that other thing. So I've had a chance to go through a lot of these old crew and update their notes and look at things, and so for Giorgio, basically, she's all tapped out. This is her peak. She has 6 traits. 3 of them are in collections. 3 are Human Federation Starfleet. We're probably not getting that Section 31 Giorgio spinoff. We probably ain't going to get any more Discovery events, so she's kind of peaked. Now, you can still take her for the collections. That's fine. Similar story for Culber. They did actually start to give him finally variant events once the Discovery Megas ended, but he has Physician or Romantic, and that's it for traits. So you can use him on shuttles, probably without a bonus, especially if you don't have bones. But, he's not making voyages for you. He's not going to get a ton of events. And then Kirk is like on the other end of the power spectrum, but he's a little more interesting with events and gauntlet very early game and that kind of thing. So that's all to say that these older crew, almost annoyingly, we have to look more and more at traits and collections, because that's once they fall out of power use, that's kind of all they have. And so the game is being more and more reductive for certain levels of crew power. But I think out of all those, obviously Culber has the most elite still stat for shuttles.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean,
yeah, go on.
You say that the disco crew there are pretty tapped out, and I would probably actually go Giorgio, because yes, she has all the collections that she's going to have, but those collections all still play. Those are all still tough ones to finish. And there are worse crew than her for all of them. I mean, you're taking the first star, so you're not going to get much out of that. She's really not going to be an event piece for a lot of players until she's 3 of 5, 4 of 5. But I would say if you're playing the long game, and with any of these crew, I mean, I guess, Culber, star 1, you might be using him on shuttles here and there. But for all these crew, you're playing the long game. So I would take the one that would pay off the most in the end, and I think that for my purposes, for my thoughts, that it's Giorgio.
If I'm taking the collections out of the equation, I probably would go and if I didn't have bones, I probably would go Culber just for the base power with med seats for any med shuttle, because he would make a med shuttle. And I think we're going to get more Culber variants in the future. I think there's going to be Disco 4 uniform refresh. I mean, that's Timeline's wet dreams. Like, yes, we can get more variants out of all these crew. So I think we will see another Culber event, and I think he will, assuming they put med shuttles on it, he will rock it. I can't see, like Otto says, I can't see many more Giorgio variants coming out. There are a few more they could pull from the show, definitely. I think there's definitely probably another Section 31 Giorgio variant they can do. That Kirk, you can get so many better Kirks at 4/4 that would do much better work than the 1/5 Caliphie Kirk. And I'm speaking from experience there because I have a 1/5 Caliphie Kirk that I've leveled to level 100. And every time there's a Kirk event, I send Incognito Kirk, I send Roman Captive Kirk, and he barely makes a shuttle. So I think Halberd might be my choice here. At this kind of metric, if I wasn't thinking about completing collections, his collections is your show. Let's talk about what you were what you were hitting on a little bit there, Otto, about the collection shift. Let me just turn that off and shift to this screen. There we go. So yes, there has been a little bit of a meta shift, especially, we've noticed over the last sort of 6 months to a year, with the focus on collections, with the focus on traits, and the very sort of sped up nature in which the collections are being released. And especially what we've noticed, say tracking 12-hour voyages, is those with the more collections filled tend to be making more 12-hour voyages. Not shouting you out there, Nobleman DK. Please stop filling our leaderboard up. But yes, please talk me through about the sort of meta shift with the beholds and the choices that people are making in regard to the last few months with traits and collections.
I'm doing a poll, Big, so it's all you.
Oh, what? Oh, collections are good. They're great.
Do you know, I had probably the most professional intro and segue that I have done in years for you guys.
Yeah, you laid the runway all the way
just
up.
There, just straight out to the two of you.
We just skidded off into the grass.
Who wants to hear some?
No, well, I mean, it seems pretty obvious that collections are the main driver of interest and activity in the game now, to the point that, as we've said before on the show, when they released this last couple of campaigns, it's just been more or less the name of the crew and the collections that they're in. They've added ways for you to see what collections the crew are in multiple places now. So it's all kind of driven to collections now, to the point that new cards, when you're deciding whether or not to go for events, it almost doesn't matter what their stats are. It's just going to the trait tab and seeing, what collections are they in now? What collections could they be in the future? Because, once that resourceful collection dropped, everything changed. I think that's really when everything changed, because now anything that's not Human, Federation, and Starfleet, and we can't even definitively say that those aren't on the table too. when some they decide to take Klingon away from the Kalhaya crew, then it's like, all right, well, now here's your Federation collection to make up for it.
All right, we have a poll in chat. How do you guys feel about collections being a big focus of the crew? Would you rather have good stats? Would you rather lean into traits and good art, more of the flavor of the card? Do you like the direction they're going, or do you really not care? You just are along for the ride?
I think it's a long-standing. It's a patch fix for a long-standing complaint people have had for the last couple of years. Is like, we need something more new to do with our crew, and this is kind of the band-aid over the problem while they work on something better. It's like, okay, we can give you some more use out of your crew that you finished, rather than giving you more use out of them right now, in that they will be useful long after they have passed into your freezer, as it were. But yeah, and it kind of makes people think about beholds, and it gives older cards that with again, you look about 2 years ago and it was Voyagers were the 100%, this is why this crew is good. Maybe the occasional Gauntlet crew that you didn't already have before I'm talking about before Red Angel was released, before we had an influx of new Gauntlet crew. But now we're sort of looking at those older cards and thinking, yeah, like we were just talking about with Desert Philippa Georgiou, and she fills 3 collections. That is inherently her value now that the disco bubble is over. So it is the patch on the old crew to give them use before they can actually give us a decent game mode that has use for the crew.
More stuff.
Yes.
So essentially, crew retrieval has been their big project the last couple of years. And so this year has actually not been bad. It's been more eventful than the last couple of years. 2020, what did we have? Kind of nothing. Yeah. 2019,
we keep trying to have weeks off, and they keep pulling us back. That's how it is.
2019, they added campaigns, but that's like not a game mode. That's a you pay them and get more loot thing. Yeah. So this year we did have crew retrieval, which is a pretty damn big feature, especially for a 5-year-old game. presumably objective events are coming, if not late this year, early next year, judging by the chatter around it. So yeah, this is an easy, I always put this in air quotes, content drip. It's not content, but it is content. And so being able to release that on a monthly schedule for them is huge because, frankly, we do a Timelines talk show, and we like to have stuff to talk about. So new collection, shifting values, that's very important to us. It's very important to us as players who, like, these awful crew, DaiMon Solok, yeah, is he garbage now? Yeah, kind of. But in a year, might he have 5 collections, and you think about retrieving them because he finishes 2 of them? Maybe. So the collection shift in general has definitely brought traits to the forefront, made them very important. And who is in the chat? Gazoo says in chat, the ramp up in collections changed the way I think about sighting crew. And so any like big meta shift, you know, unless it involves, I don't know, like destroying card value that you already have, it's a welcome thing, especially for an older game. So I do like collections. It's not the most important thing in the world to me. I think if you get the correct traits for a crew, the collections will follow. You know, I don't like running around behind WG and saying, you guys forgot 4 traits on this crew. Does anyone look at this? You know, so that's a little negative, Nancy. But I do like the overall shift in collections and just the easy way to get that content drip in between what has this year so far promised to be a couple of more significant features.
Yeah.
And then you guys talk.
Please clap.
And
Oh, good show, everyone.
tagging you in.
No, I basically agree on the same sympathies. Like, it has, you know, people know me, and it's overtaken my brain a little bit. But I think not because of, you know, it's. I think the difference between looking at a top Voyager, yeah, you go for your top Voyagers, get your Braxtons, get your Gary Sevens, get your Dexers and your Holler Zimmermans, fantastic, you know, they're great crew to have, but they will focus on one area. The thing that's drawing me to sort of the collection bonuses and why I'm glad they've been doing it more often, rather than just being vanity ones like the Wild West Indie Collection, things like that, they've actually been putting the boosts in them, and that is the kind of game changer, really, because you might think 1%, that's not a lot, but when you're finishing one crew and finishing like Veteran, Klingon, Diplomat, all in one strike, you're getting a significant bonus, not just to your Voyagers, to your to your shuttles, to your Gauntlet as well, and it's kind of affecting the whole game. So I think that's a game changer, but it is, I think the worry there is it is bringing a little bit of imbalance, especially into Gauntlet, where it's actually introducing that pay to win scenario where it's technically isn't pay to win because retrieval kind of counterbalances that a little bit, but it still means that whoever has the most collections is more likely to win. So I think that is driving the focus that way ever so slightly. So there is a little bit of a sort of a meta element in there behind the scenes. It's like, cool, I can collect crew from this collection, but people, like, you know, the more whalier among us on you know, in our chat and in the game as well, who've got more collections, going, don't we complain about Gauntlet's easy? I get top ranks all the time, not realizing that the free to play players are kind of going, this is a pain in the ass, I hate Gauntlet, I'm always losing, I can barely get shit from boxes. So that's it flips around. It's definitely like you say, it has definitely changed the meta. This is definitely a new element for the game, especially in the last 6 months. Dead Airfield, are you happy with that?
For our podcast listeners, how do you feel about collections being a big focus? 59% say they'd rather have correct traits and good art, so more of the flavor of the crew. 29% say they love collections. 12% say they'd rather just have good stats. And 0% don't care. Everyone here is invested in the show, in the game. You wonderful, beautiful people.
No way. You mean people that will sit?
This just in. We've got an Mitchell watch.
Watch.
That's right. We've got a breaking alert. Sorry, Big. Finish what you were saying first. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. It was just observations. Like, you mean that people that will sit for a 2-hour plus show,
3 hours
timeline? Yeah. That you mean they might be invested in the content of the game? I how dare you, sir?
They're staying for the Star Trek
Mitchell,
Adventure
watch this.
Oh, by the way, we are having a Star Trek Adventure stream on the 13th of November. There you go. The part 2 continues. Okay, let's look at this.
Hold on. A comment from Chad. Keenan Joe 1 says, more focus on trait collections has made WRG be better about traits. Last week, was it? Said this whole mega has been pretty damn spectacular. The 9 mega crew had all their traits. We couldn't think of one that they were missing. Now that one of those has changed recently, which we'll get to. But so this mega has been good. This week has not been good. So it has ups and downs. on balance, had they been better? I don't know. Maybe I don't track that stuff, but
You liar.
well, yeah, well, I did start tracking all of their trait methods, so I'm going to present a giant collage to them later on. But,
with a picture of you in the middle, just going, please. Okay, Mitchell, watch. Bull Queen. She's made for Gauntlet, wasn't she? So she has engineering side. Mitchell here with a mighty roll of 427 and 463 cannot quite break through her immense scores there. Moving on. Wow. I mean, this one isn't really fair. This one isn't really fair because he did roll well here. 216. That's a pretty high score for Mitchell on one skill. This is the upside of it. Even though he lost, he still actually had some good rolls. So these show the power of the rolls you could have. But you won't. So this is where he loses against the Red Angel. She still wins because probably there was a crit bonus at work there. But hey, how about that? Let's have a look.
Hi.
hey, Big. How you doing, buddy?
Let's have a look.
It's just this kind of day, isn't it?
It really is. Let's just have a quick look. Let's see one he wins. Here we go. A decisive win against Locutus of Borg, known Gauntlet and Voyage monster. Bearing in mind, Mitchell did have to take both his skills to beat him, and it was only by...
To beat his tertiary.
Exactly, to beat his tertiary. And it was only by 100 points. There was a very juicy one. Who submitted these? Thank you for... This is quite a big, long list. Thank you, Luxie, for submitting these. I think you spent quite a good afternoon. Oh, here we go. I quite like this one. Satin dress, Lily Sloan. Was she built... What does she have in range of Gauntlet? Does she have anything?
She's not the bottom of the barrel, but...
Okay. But Mitchell, who is the top of the barrel...
Built for it.
Who had both his
different.
Who had both his skills in play here, both dip and command, scores and rolls, and she still beat him with just one skill.
I love this Toyota Trait Month thing. We really got to get a sponsorship out of this deal, you know. It's a Toyota Trade-a-thon.
We find one more. Oh no, I think that's about it. Yeah, the archive thread we have here. Admiral Kirk, there we go. Admiral Kirk can beat Mitchell as well. Thank you. I mostly looks in for everyone that submitted Mitchell Watch screenshots. We probably won't do this in future because I think that has ended. But moving on.
The best two-show segment of all time.
Oh yeah, that's going to go
going
down
in the segment Hall of Fame.
That was worth streaming off YouTube for. Let's have a look at I'm going to shift the crew. I'm going to shift the show notes around slightly. Let's have a chat about the crew of the week. Who can win for next week? Will be the infamous Bajoran terrorist come savior Lenalis. Actually, one of my favourite arcs in Deep Space Nine is this whole 3-part at the start of season 2. So I'm really happy this crew is in the game. I think he's been quite widely requested for a while now, hasn't he? Like people he's the Shakar before Shakar, wasn't he, essentially?
Yeah, I was just reading about him today, and that was kind of the plan, which was vetoed by Ira Bear, the producer with the blue hair. And so when they said he said he felt he had to be killed off for story reasons, and so then they brought later in Shakar to kind of replace him. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar, he has a 3-episode arc where he was the greatest Bajoran resistance fighter of all time, and Kira goes to get him out of prison. He
hang on, we're having a recap. Hang on. We've got to play it.
In a world where
No, I'm joking. Let's carry on.
Dude, that's my favorite segment intro we ever did, and then we just stopped doing that segment altogether.
We'll bring it back.
I destroyed my voice, by the way, to get all the way down there. So, yeah, so he's this great Bajoran resistance fighter. They break him out of prison, and in the rebuild of the Bajoran people after the Cardassian occupation, they need a hero. They need a cultural figure, dare I say, to rally behind. And they decide that man should be him, but he's not comfortable with it because this whole legend is built on a myth. He accidentally killed a Cardassian soldier, and the story went from there. So he's sort of uncomfortable in his role as a politician. He wants to be a fighter. And by the way, the art on this is just out of this world. Might be a little strong, but if you look on your screen there, it is so hard to convey discomfort and nervousness, and that's not the role for him, but he's standing there with his hand in his pocket, and he looks a little bit nervous, and it's just perfect art for who that character is.
Yeah, I like
and then
him.
you guys talk.
Yeah, no, he is a decent Voyager in his own right. I mean, Sec Dip Command. I mean, this is a field which is quite well populated. You've got Breen Disguised Kira in there. You've got Determined
Understatement.
Paris. Yeah, exactly. And like this is not a skill combo anyone should be short for, but he is powerful enough. He's sitting at Voyager rank 34. You got him, you cite him, you'll probably use him. However, it's that he's not a later losers Voyager. He is not in that top echelon like Breen Kira is, or Determined Paris with his multitude of traits, which we'll get on to in a minute. Where he's shooting up, he will more than likely drop over time. So I think your investment with him is limited. However, I think next year you might be safe with it, but I don't think you need it. Speaking of his traits, someone illuminate me because I haven't looked at them too closely. Is he missing some? Should he have something there that he doesn't?
All right, so before we get to that, I want to shout out someone I don't think they watch. I don't know if they watch. Their name on the forums is Navark. That is the religious title that they give Lee Nahlis. This is a Gortzer. That's the religious title they give to Lee Nahlis in the show, and that's his role. And so I wonder what Navarch thinks of Lee Nahlis entering the game. Like you said, the power is good enough. Like, if I had a crew that I really liked, that I wanted in the game, and they debuted with this power, good base, good voyage abilities, some good traits, I would be happy. So it's simply good enough, even on the strong side, considering his skill set. But yeah, he's missing a couple traits. I won't rehash it because I already posted on the forums about it. Hopefully they'll fix it. He's missing the veteran trait and the cultural figure trait. And if you want to know why, you can go read the long list of quotes from the episodes to sort of highlight that. But even without that, he's got 5 non-human Federation Starfleet traits, which is kind of all you can ask for in the environment these days. Like I said, Voyage, top 10 sec base, he's right at 10. So he's got good value all around. And if you want to go from an event, that's pretty good event value. It's not a 6-pack crew. It's not an exclusive crew.
I mean, if you get him at 1 of 5, it's probably not. You've got to commit. I think it's like for the people that are going for 2 or 3 of 5 crew, yeah, stick the sights on, use him. If you're just going to get him 1 of 5, more than likely, by the time you get round to sighting him for either voyages or collections, there will probably be something better. I was just looking at the marketplace at the moment, and if you're looking for the direct upgrade for Breen Kira, the Breen Polestar is currently 81,000 ISM, so maybe take that into account. That might be sort of a reason to get. Yeah. It might be a reason to.
But you don't need the Breen Polestar
do you
to
not?
retrieve Breen Kira.
No. Don't let the secret out. Some people farm hairflips. Some people farm Breen Polestars.
Yeah, I think this is another discussion we should have when we're talking about these new crew that are not in Portal. Is there someone in the Portal that you can actually easily retrieve that is just as good? Like, we talk about Determined Paris and Breen Kira. These are options for someone that would probably make Lee Nahlis irrelevant if you got, those polls. Even tactical stamets may have an impact on that. I think he's
not in the Portal right now.
No, he's not.
That was part of the that's part of the appeal of that Behold is that he's not in the Portal.
Lee is too powerful to become irrelevant. He's the number one option for hero seats. He's the number one option for inspiring seats. Number one option for survivalists. So, he has good traits, and he will definitely voyage for a while. But this ties into last week when we had, and we talked about it, the costumed Brother Rom. By the way, Big, I need your Brother Rom impression.
Hey, brother.
We need to clip that and put it on the stream deck. So they essentially, a few people said, "Hey, why is he costumed?" And this is situation nutshell. And WRG said, "Oh well, we were going to remove it anyway." So the card came out, and you may have leveled him during the event, and you may have noticed that his uniform is called Rom's costume. Yeah. So the left hand is not talking to the right hand about what they're doing. So they took the trait away, and now we're a few traits shy on Lee Nahlis. Will they add those to make it right? I don't know, but so that's why yes, they have been doing a pretty good job with traits up until this week has gotten real bumpy with adding and removing.
Should we talk about Sulu? Sorry, go on. No, go on.
Oh, well, just the thing is, it's like, we haven't really talked about, we hadn't gotten to Luau Q yet because that's the the other one. I don't want to jump ahead in the notes.
No, do it. We're there.
Don't you dare!
So the text of the end of the event, the end of the Mega, reveals. Spoiler if you haven't finished the event, but you can't play it anymore. So I guess that ship sailed. That he is, he calls himself a machine. It alludes to the fact that he may be a hologram. Something along those lines. And he doesn't have any of that. He's just traded as if he is just a standard Q. And this was brought up. This was brought up by Automaton himself on the forums. And
actually, technically, it wasn't Automaton. It was a machine image of Automaton that has way different traits and does not appear in this show. Please continue.
Okay, but we'll bring it up with the team. And so we found out that basically the writer of the text for these things, the writer for Star Trek Timelines, I don't know if they came to that. It's a she, right? We have established that that's a she.
Yes, Ben has said she's won awards for her writing, which is generally pretty good. Yes.
Yeah, that she came up with that idea on her own, or without consulting any of the people that traded the crew, or decided what any of these things were going to be, and that. Okay, nothing is going to be changed. We're not going to update Q's traits to reflect what was told in the story that we wrote and we posted in the game.
By the way, Walt Canny's taking some digs at Idle for his pee break. We have an over-under. We have a betting pool on the Discord. If you want to figure out when he takes his pee break on the show. Yeah. No, that's an accurate synopsis. Essentially, the entire Mega was structured around, even called Fantasy Planet. The big reveal in Week 4 is going to be that these crew don't really exist, that they're holograms, that it was a sort of defective machine that produced these images, and they chose Q as their holographic avatar. And even the other featured crew say, that he's, thank goodness it's not the real Q doing this. So, I read through the event text on one of the rare occasions, and I'm like, wait a minute, why doesn't he have the hologram trait? Why doesn't he have, someone else brought up automated unit? What about engineered like Carl, Guardian of Forever? Because the event text says he was built by some ancient civilization. This is a machine built by ancient civilization, etc. So, we're kind of picky with traits because we're nerds and we love Star Trek and we watch all the episodes a billion times. There are a billion traits out there where you can argue back and forth, should they be applied, should they not, and it's gray territory, and that's fine. Obviously, you can't win them all. This was entirely WRG's own creation. They structured the event, they named the event, the entire fourth week of event. You can go on the sttwiki.org and go back and look at the Week 4 event text. It is all structured around this being a machine creation with holograms, and it's like, you guys sort of created this problem for yourself. You created a Q who's not quote-unquote canon Q. You made him a holographic avatar. All you got to do is add one or two traits. Is that going to destroy your entire one-year outlook to make sure that the traits that you insinuated or outright stated are on the card correctly? So it's not the end of the world, but these three, Lee Nollis, Luau Q, costume, not costume ROM happening in 1 week is like, hold on, let's go back to the drawing board a little bit.
I will give you another example, and that would be Thrax, former Mega crew, that was mentioned in the text of the Mega event at the end to be a changeling. Thrax was not a changeling.
Yeah.
Thrax in this game is a changeling, which reflects the story that was told in the game.
Humanoid figure is not an archer, but in the arse.
So they've gone both ways with that.
It's weird.
But so here's the thing: it's like maybe there was a miscommunication internally with WRG, so this stuff didn't get ironed out before the game was put out, or before these crew were put out with the traits that they have. They say they've worked on this process, so that's not going to happen again. Be that as it may, for this crew, okay, if that wasn't the plan, so what? Bank error in the player's favor now. It's like you have put this out here. Just make it consistent, make it right. Because traits, as we've established over this and many other episodes, traits matter. I mean, I didn't particularly care. I was gonna cite Q either way. He's a good card. He's good on his own merits, as they were when we first learned about the card. But these things matter in the future. It's like there is not a single game mode in Star Trek timelines where traits do not play a role. It's like they matter in Voyages, they matter in Gauntlet, they matter in events, they matter for crew retrieval, they matter for the episodes if you haven't unlocked them. There's not a single spot that traits don't touch. So getting that important, you have told the players that this is the most important thing in the game, is paying attention to traits. So we're just expecting the same from the people that make the game, is all.
It's interesting sort of where they sort of draw the line on this, because back when we had Human Saru and he was such a game-breaking Voyager at number 1 until Auto had a word and then they nerfed him. No, not really. Until they brought him down. Sorry. But
if you ever thought I wielded any kind of power at WRG, I've tried like 4 times over the last couple months to get traits added that were clearly needed to be added, and then they're like, nope, we're just not going to do it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But they're much happier to nerf than they are to, like Big says, bank error in the player's favor.
But like I said, with Saru, he was a top Voyager, stupidly high Voyager, and they went, whoops, he's a mistake, we'll nerf him, we'll put him, and still a huge Voyager anyway, by any means, he's still great. But they won't add the hologram trait, which is not going to break the great game. Like, he will count for a few more hologram seats in Voyagers, he might get an extra couple of Voyage Gauntlet combos, but I don't think his proficiencies are anywhere near useful for that. But why not do it? Why not say, oh yeah, no, that's a cool idea, let's put the hologram trait on him. It won't confuse anyone any more than Thrax will. Because I had the same conversation with people in the same time, because I never read the event text. I tapped, I'm like, what the fuck is he a shapeshifter?
Friggin' Yelgren is a musician. You want to tell me that you want to be a stickler on traits from the episode? Like, come on.
Make the Hansons musicians. I'm with you on this one, Otto. Make the Hansons musicians, because that is such a good little in-joke that players will appreciate. Do it. Like, it's so funny.
So Keenan says in chat, Q's not a hologram in the episode his art is based on. That's true, and that's the company line that they gave us. But the story...
He's not that character.
Right. This is a different character that we're being given in the Mega. If week 4 said, oh, it's the Mischievous Crew, and he teleported from... Or the Mischievous Q, and he teleported from his Voyager episode, and he's playing tricks on everyone, fine, then that's the Q that we're getting in the game. Their own writing told us, we're not getting that Q. We only borrowed his image according to the text they're giving. So, like,
I'm going to name this. I'm going to name this a thing, because this probably will happen again, where something in the event text contradicts the trace, and I'll say this is the Thrax problem. And this is the same thing. Thrax is a shapeshifter because of the event text, but Luau Q is not a hologram because of not the event text. It's the Thrax problem. They've set a precedent that they should really continue on.
Well, someone had the guess that we're getting a hologram collection soon, and they don't want to give players a free 4 or 5. So
that's never stopped them before. Like,
okay.
Luau,
Well, then make the hologram collection 120 crew or something. They'll just keep moving the goalposts to where you need them all. Just big frickin' whoop.
You said the inside words out loud, Big. Don't tell people that this is a treadmill game, or we might lose some of our viewer base.
Evans of Wales, yes. Human Neelix as well. He's not an original. If he's going to say an event, he is. Like, Human Neelix is a Timelines original because of the event crew, and not the fact he's from First Contact. Like, that's even more recent. They're contradicting themselves on this, and it sounds so petty, but it's little things like that we need.
Yeah. Well, when the things that you have to do with your crew are as limited as they are, all we have are the little things.
Yeah.
So we don't want to nitpick this stuff. We really don't. I don't. It takes days and years off of my life to pick into this kind of stuff. Well, and here's the other thing too. Because on the one hand, yes, these things matter to us. We would like to see them consistent, correct, and just done right. and that if something is promised, that something is delivered. That I think that is a very reasonable expectation as a player.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Yeah. Well, but on the other hand, if you ring the bell at 11 volume every time any single thing is wrong or inconsistent about the game, all that we are doing as players is numbing the powers that be to our complaints, because they'll just be like, well, they're just going to complain about every little thing every time anything's wrong. Just forget it. We're just going to do what we do and ignore all of this stuff. So it's like, have you ever heard the story of the boy that cried wolf? It's just you can't just like be. That's why we.
I think there's degrees to it. There's degrees to it. I mean, there's like us complaining about the UI. Okay, that's one thing that they can turn around and say, well, we got plans for this and blah blah blah. But us saying like, just give like little things like give him the hologram trait, like, or like we've got good reasoning and backup. And it's the rhetoric that comes out of me is like this, what we see in the official communication that kind of annoys us the most. I think it doesn't quite line up with the intentions and things that have happened in the past, because they're thinking, oh, well, these guys are just mobile game players, they're just coming on, hopping off, but not realising that we're Star Trek fans and we love this kind of detail about our favourite characters. And this is... If you're modifying it, then we want good reasons why you're modifying it.
So, if I can call out one of our moderators, Genos Adanian, I cannot fathom why he's done this, but God bless him anyway. He went back from the beginning and started watching all of the Timeline Talks episodes. And as it goes through, he gives us the highlights and the lowlights. Hey, you guys got this correct. Hey, you guys swung and a miss on this. I said, did we ever whine about art? And he said, no. He went through... The first, I don't know how many months he's through, like 8 months or 9 months of the show. We didn't whine about art every week. We didn't whine about traits every week. So, this is not like it's not our life's goal to come on here and complain. And like Big said, we're not trying to rattle a cage. All we're doing is saying, hey, you guys presented this way. It's factually incorrect. If you could fix it, that'd be great. And I guess they're digging in their heels. Whether that works out for them, I don't know. But so him going back and running through everything was a little bit illuminating. Hey, how come you guys stopped doing this segment and such? So it's good to have that perspective that,
that it's not just man of timelines now.
Yeah, it's not just us like rattling the cages. That there's actually been a shift in how they've done certain things. So we talked. I mean, if you want to go back and watch last week, we praised the Mega. They did great. They were all useful crew. I'm trying to think. They're all useful crew. None of them had trait mismatches until week 4, and they changed the event text. So, they've done well in parts. They haven't done well in parts, and hopefully we're straddling that line of calling out the stuff that needs to be called out and not going overboard. But before we go any longer, Evans of Wales has been sitting on 20,000 hair flips for a long-ass time, and he wants us to recite some track, and I think he's been teasing us in chat. So, Evans, if you're around and want to redeem that...
You got to redeem it before we can do it.
Yeah, I know what scene he wants us to do.
Can't do it twice. While we're waiting for him to do that, Auto, were you paying attention, or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? We're going to talk about, and I thought I'd throw a Matrix reference in there because that's the perfect opportunity. Profiteer Vash.
Yeah. This is the anti complaints, so buckle up.
If you want anything but complaints about the art. Evan says, a highlighted message first. Okay, Evans, he's saying, but as Solbor awaited his moment in the limelight, it seemed there had been a mix-up with regard to the headwear situation. There you go, I've read it. We'll talk about Profiteer Vash first. So yes, this is... I'm just going to leave this to Auto. This is kind of your fan favourite, isn't it, really?
He is the Vash stan of the show, so the floor is yours.
I'm pretty sure I immortalized Galaxy Gallivanting Vash live on stream in the past, too. Yes. So my credentials are well established. All right, a nod to Stars and Garters, card sucks. She got nothing going for her except, again, traits, which I don't know why you need to debut a card this bad, but be that as it may, this might be my new favorite best art in the game. And I wish that the big book was live because the wonderful no-name namer has implemented a pinch and zoom feature. If you're on mobile, you can zoom in as far as you want and get high fidelity art on all the crew in the game. And she looks fantastic. She's got the typical Vash attitude.
Yeah.
The highlighting is not overly done. It's got pretty good shading on it. The red dress pops. And she looks as if she taps her shoes together. We're going back to Kansas. So like the whole package is fantastic. I wish she was a legendary crew so that I could use her more, even with bad stats. Legendary crew are just more powerful. So we also have, what is this, the 4th Vash variant of game. She was only in 3 episodes, so you can't say the WRG hasn't done well by her to give her so many variants. I just wish they were a little better, but this art is stunning. This is bridge crew quality art.
I'm going to pin you down. Galaxy Gallivanting Vash or this new one?
Don't do this to me. Chakotay.
Yeah, which
the answer's always Chakotay.
No. Who's number 1?
Hold on. Let me pull up the pinch.
Okay. Here's something for you, right? What if because Star Trek Prodigy is coming out, isn't it? And infamously, there's going to be Captain Chakotay in there, which we are going to be addressing when it happens. What if he has an adventure at some point on Prodigy with Vash, and you could have a fusion crew of Vash and Chakotay?
In memoriam, rest in peace, Automaton 2000.
That's that Vince McMahon gif, right?
Yeah. Fall out of the chair. All right, you guys vamp. I gotta see if Chad is excited about this as I am.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should talk about Prodigy. I mean, we need to have a spoiler cast, but I've watched Prodigy. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys have yet or not. In which case we'll drop it right there. But yeah, Prodigy was good. I'm for what it is. It's good. I think I'm gonna get Stars on and you guys, and we're gonna have a Star Trek spoiler chat because we need to talk about Lower Decks. We need to talk about the new disco season coming up, and we don't really want to spoil it for those guys watching that hasn't seen it. There is another highlighted message before the final reveal. God, you were teasing us out here, Evans.
All right, polls up in chat. Let me know if you guys think the Vash art is good or not, because I think it's pretty special.
You're missing something.
What am I missing?
You're missing something. You haven't done it yet. Where's Vash's flavor text?
Oh, damn it! How do I forget all these every time? You guys will see how important flavor text is in the future, but I can't go there yet. That's a secret. Vash looks to make a quick profit by partnering with Quark to hold an auction on Deep Space Nine. Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty standard flavor text. She interacts, I think, a lot with Q in that episode as well. But
it's a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've got pugilist.
I think they bet on who's going to. Yeah. Quark and Vash bet on who's going to win the fight. Pugilist Q or Cisco. Fisticuffs
Picard
Cisco.
never hit me. I'm not Picard. Classic scene. Okay, let's move away and let's just quickly talk about very, very briefly. In the pack. In the pack this week, we also have, it's the rare occasion, they've done it a few times before, there's 2 golds and a purple in the pack. The gold in question this time, for some reason, is Chuft-Captain from the TAS episode. The slaver weapon, I think it is. It's a terrible episode. Fun fact, there is a reason the Chuft-Captain is wearing a pink uniform, is the guy that was doing the cinematography was in fact colourblind. So a lot of people had pink uniforms in that episode. It's quite fun. But yes, Chuft-Captain actually has a collection now. He is part of the Criminal Mind collection, so I'm wondering if he's been included because of this, or might it? Is he a merchant? No, he's not a merchant, is he?
Brutal criminal, duelist, hunter, thief, maverick, and Kzinti. Chuft-Captain commanded the Kzinti forces of the Traitor's Claw in an ill-fated attempt to gain relics of war from slaver stasis boxes.
Yeah.
By the way, the stasis boxes are mentioned in the event preview text on the forum for this week. So they did work in his episode into the in-game event, which I found really cool.
Yes, thank you, Eric Nelson. Yes, the Kzinti were actually a Larry Niven creation, who was the writer of this episode. So they were kind of a bit of a crossover into from his universe into the Trek universe. So it's a good fun fact on them. But I think when we talked about him last time, he was we lauded him despite being a Tuesday pack at the time for being, I think he's Hunter, isn't he? So he's a Hunter Voyager, and he's fairly decent in that regard. I'm not sure how much he's fallen. He's still in the top 100 Voyagers. I think it's always the thing. They've done this before. They've done an event with a kind of terrible crew. In this case, Solok. And they've put in another better crew to kind of go, haha, but maybe you should pull this pack because you get this. They did the same thing with Riker Adan and Mycelial Culber, and then there was another one I forget they did where it was like crap crew, but haha, you could get this good crew. So it's kind of sort of like, putting the gold in the bottom of the stream for you to try and pan out, but you're just going to end up with Soloks.
You've been waiting for that, huh?
I really have. Anyone out there using Chuft-Captain? I know Namer you are a few times. Anyone else got him? Would you pull a pack for him?
So this is essentially a Voyaging shuttle crew. Now, similar to Solok, he's got a lot of off-brand traits. Well, I don't know what his brand is. You know what I mean? Off normal human Federation Starfleet traits. Yeah. So Criminal is it. Duelist, Hunter, Thief, Maverick, they're all in like the 20 to 80 range where they're not overly bloated, but they're not completely niche and esoteric. So they could all hit. Maybe none of them hits. But if you guys watched our pack pulling stream this last week, WRG Ben stopped by and was talking a little bit in a collection chat. So they have these planned out several months in advance, which means at least several more collections.
The bad news is we are not getting a romantic collection in February.
Dude, I want this.
That we know of.
Well, true.
Well, yeah, no collection. Maybe they'll do the Smitten Jean-Luc Picard campaign with.
Yeah, you got to do something.
That would be a great romantic tie-in.
We're just going to be disappointed whenever we go.
So Chuft is a good Voyager. He's still got a top 10 command base. So if you do end up pulling him and get a copy, he's worth hanging on to. I wouldn't airlock him, but whether you want to cite him or not is up to the needs on your roster.
Bearing in mind, this is going to be a hybrid event, so if you're thinking of pulling the pack for Vash anyway, you don't need to, because there's going to be a Galaxy. You'll get her 4/4 anyway. So for anyone thinking, I'm going to pull for Vash, and if I get him, fantastic. Bear in mind, hold back. You will be probably just pulling that pack for Chuft.
Yep. Important PSA.
Got to do it. Where are we on the show notes? Let's have a quick chat. Otto, you wanted to do this. Crew Spotlight, which I need to make an intro for. Let's walk one up now.
We, comrade, we make intro together.
Yes, no.
That was the worst Russian I've ever done. I apologize to our Russian Confederate viewers. We love you guys.
I still need to make an intro for this. I haven't yet because I've been working on something else, which I'm hoping to premiere with the big book. But it's going to be quite exciting. People who are on our Discord may have an inkling of what it's about. We'll get there. But let's have a look at our crew spotlight this week. Going back and pretending this crew was new. They've just come out. This is going to be Bajoran. How apt? Bajoran Dukat into the fray. 3 collections, 2 skillers. Pretend we are back in 2017, I think he came out. Is he the good crew of the time? 2018 was he? Oh, wow, that late. What do we think about?
Big, break it down. I've been talking nonstop, so. Excellent point, Big. Please continue.
Yeah. Right. So what I think of Bajoran Dukat is
Otto, you're not forgetting something.
What am I forgetting?
What you
Great
forgetting?
Indian accent. All right, that's a low blow. That was definitely Russian adjacent.
It's the same continent. Does he have a flavor text?
He does. Oh yes.
That's twice now. Actually, I don't think he can. You might have been on that occasion where he doesn't have a flavor text, or if not a case, it's just Bajoran Dukat.
Yeah, he does have flavor text. There is text in the place where flavor text would be, but it's just the name of the crew.
Oh no, isn't that Breen disguised Dukat? It was the flavor text is just Breen disguised Dukat.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, no wonder I couldn't talk about the guy. I was thinking of the wrong freaking crew.
To be fair, they're quite interchangeable, aren't they? Really, like they're both Cardassians. They're both Mark Alamo.
All right. First of all, not even close. This is a trait bonanza. Like, we've been whining about traits lately. They don't have enough. They don't have the right ones. How many traits does this guy have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 traits. None of them human, Federation, or Starfleet. That means, okay, pie in the sky maybe doesn't happen. This guy could hit 11 collections. Like, he's already hit on 3.
Get out of here, Tuxedo Nog. You're fired.
They're showing that they're going to keep bumping up the threshold. So this guy could be, in a year's time, he could be in 5, he could be in 8 collections. You know, we really don't know. It also means he's got a lot of gauntlet crit. 265% gauntlet switch.
What are you talking about, also? There's only 3 collections in the game at this time.
Yes, I'm saying in the future his traits could trigger on more. How many pint was your alcoholic beverage tonight?
At least 2.
2.5. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think if they release a screw today, which obviously they did, I would go nuts for him. I would even pull a 6-pack for him because they're turning this into a collection game. So if that's the game they want to play and they're going to put a card like this out with 11 viable traits, I got to get a piece of it. Like, how many people missed out on Bagman Odo, and then when they realized, O'Brien is actually a fantastic crew, that maybe they wish they could have gotten a copy of him. So this 6-pack crew, I would, just because he's a purple, I would try. You know, if he were an event ranked award, I shouldn't give him any ideas. If he were a ranked award, I'd probably go for it, but I wouldn't feel great about it. So, yeah.
I would love to actually know.
For a purple, yeah.
I would love to know metrics on how many people own certain crew. Like, it would be great to see, like, a rarity, not just of, like, you know, legendary, super rare, but of actually how rare that crew is. I'd like to know how many people actually do have Scapegoat O'Brien, how many people have Bajoran Dukat, and just have that little metric in the game and say, yeah, there's only 6 people have Scapegoat O'Brien. I'm like, holy crap, I can get him. That would make me one of that exclusive crew. I think that would add another little niche into there. Oh, hello, we got a... Oh, here we go.
That'll be fun.
We have our Recite Some track. Here it is. Evans of Wales has submitted his hair flips. And we have to... Yes, Captain Chakot Idol has been fooled by the most cunning race in the galaxy, and the true question is, can we find someone with a big enough helmet? Riddle arm. Find out as we get ready to beam to Packled Planet. I need to bring up the script.
By the way, I've just replaced the script because these fools thought we were going to be reading Solbor chat. Instead, we're transporting to the Packled planet of Lower Decks, and you, Idol, are going to do all the Packled parts, and you, Big, are going to be Captain Freeman of these Cerritos. So I have conveniently highlighted your parts. Big, you're going to be blue. Packled, Idol, you're going to be in red.
Where is this? Oh, great.
It's in the show chat, or in the show notes. So...
Wait, the show notes?
Yes.
Oh, you duped me. I thought we were doing Solbor. Wow, okay.
Welcome to now. Said he was practicing his Solbor accent before the show.
I went through the scene. I was just like, right, we'll go through it. Oh, well played. Okay. So
this is going to be completely off the cuff.
Okay.
All right. For better or worse.
Oh,
so
okay.
Mostly worse.
So Big is highlighted in blue. I'll do the stage directions, and Idol does all the Packled parts in red.
You've got to do your best sassy black captain.
Yeah. The Packleds continue their unprovoked attacks on Federation trade routes. Seeking a ceasefire, the Cerritos is on a diplomatic mission to the Packled homeworld, which they call Packled Planet. Starfleet Command entrusted me with this mission because of our experience with the Packleds last year. Negotiating a ceasefire would be a huge achievement.
If you keep doing Picard-level peace brokering like this, they might give you an enterprise.
Well, I don't know about that. Remember, it's just the Packleds. This shouldn't be too complicated.
Freeman and Shax beam down to the Packled planet.
Ambassador Grubin.
Welcome, Captain Janeway. Packled planet is big and strong.
Right. Well, actually, I'm Captain Freeman of the Cerritos. I'm here to discuss the ceasefire.
Oh, I was misinformed. I do not have a big enough helmet to make ceasefires.
Okay. Well, then I need to talk to someone with a bigger helmet.
Packled shouting in the distance. Another Packled runs up to the landing party.
Guys, the prisoner Rumda. He ran away from Packled planet to her ship. You! Why did you steal Rumda?
I can assure you we did no such thing. Ransom, is there a packlet on my ship?
That's an affirmative, Captain.
This ship is strong. I can live here now.
We think he's requesting asylum.
No! Until she gives Rumda back, Janeway stays here!
Ominous music plays. Cutscene. So later on in the episode, they go back to Pecklet Planet.
You want a rotten mush fruit?
No, thank you. I just want to talk ceasefire with whomever's in charge.
Oh, Janeway turned down mush fruit. Her Majesty, the Queen!
Ah, Your Highness, allow me to...
You can't kill Rumda! Rumda is our prisoner! We will kill Rumda!
I can assure you Rumdar's in good hands. Nobody is killing Rumdar.
Prove it. I want to talk to Rumda!
Ransom, put the Packlet refugee on the line.
Actually, we've temporarily lost track of him.
What? Rumdar is in the bathroom, but he said you should negotiate a ceasefire.
Oh, I don't have a big enough helmet to do that.
Are you shitting me?
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what 20,000 hairflips
This is
can
what
buy.
you can get for 20,000 hairflips. Oh, thank you for spoofing me on that. That was
We're
fun.
going to Bajoran applause Evans of Wales for
Thank
saving up
you.
that many
Yes.
hairflips. So if you guys want mud bath Loxana or however uncomfortable a scene you can think to put us in, that's your reward at 20,000
Oh,
points.
I don't think there's anything too uncomfortable really here, is there? We have done... What's the steamiest scene we can do?
By the way, you make a great Packlet
Oh,
item.
thank you. Red alarm. I've got the sound file for that. I need to put that on a trigger.
I mean, the most uncomfortable scene would be like just a solo recreation of the ghost candle scene, right?
Yes. The one-man play
Not to
by
put any
Stars and
ideas out
Garters.
there, but yeah.
Stars will play her grandma brought to life by energy waves or whatever.
The part of Data and Geordie is played by Jenna Sedanian. Yes, thank you for that, Evans. I was fully prepped to do the Soul Ball scene. I was so excited to do it. Like, I was really kind of saying, yeah, we can do that. Never mind. No, next time, whoever's got the next amount of hair flips, we'll get that in. It's been a fun week. I think we've kind of said all we're going to see this week. Guys, come and join the Discord if you've not already. The link you can find in the description below if you're on YouTube or on down below. Check the chat or come and join the Discord. We have competitions for all sorts of things. We're thinking some more sub perks and more perks for you guys to win to get a sub, and not because we want like any kind of exclusive hype squad or anything like that. We just want people to have money to put into the charity, because all of our subs, all of our ad views, any money we make on the stream is going towards our next charity stream, which we're kind of in the early planning of, aren't we? We're sort of starting to think about what we're going to do. But first and foremost, on the, I think it's the 12th or the 15th, I can't remember which one the Wednesday is. I think it's the 15th, isn't it?
December 15th.
December 15th, we will be having our Timelines Talks 2021 awards show yet again. We will be bringing back the classic and having our look back over the year of Timelines in full regalia. So yes, that will be happening on the 15th, and we've got our
The
schedule.
triumphant return of Maverick from Top Gun and Idol as Rambo. It's going to be great.
Oh yes. Yeah, so have a look on the Discord. We've got our schedule going up to there for now. I think after then we'll be having a little bit of a break while Christmas happens. But yes, come and have a look at the schedule. If you can't make the shows live, thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you for watching live. We will be back next week for another time.
I think we had like 3 or 4 new chatters in chat.
Yeah, this has been great. It's good to see new faces.
It's that time zone switch that brings everyone in.
Yeah, it's that extra hour at the end of the day. But yeah, I think time zones next week we should be back to normal, or the week after.
Let's just start the show at 2 a.m, and then all of our East Coast viewers will have the most comfortable window in which to watch.
Yeah,
this.
exactly. If I had a night, if I had a night job, I'd just stay up till like 2 or 3 in the morning and appease all American viewers. But unfortunately, all of us, apart from Big, I'm glad you're here. Taking your time out of your middle of your day to come and join us. Yeah. So we'll hopefully see more of you. And yes, Thank you everyone for coming, guys. Thank you for joining me. We will see you next week.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Stole my line.
See ya.